I had a couple of people that was questioning me about the child support situation. Having a child support debt or a any kind of a debt. How do you discharge it? I've already made the video with the debt letter, the one that you can use. I'll probably make another video because we updated that letter. So for anybody that wants to watch it, just go ahead and watch it. Take the information down. Got any questions? Hit me on Messenger. You know what I mean? Leave a number if you want me to call you. We can sit down and chop it up and go from there. But anyway, what we have here is this is an old child support case. They tried to come back and get me while I was in custody and tried to hit me up for some money. And while I was in custody, I shut it down. I shut this one down while I was in custody by paper. The other one they tried to get me for, that was through the courts, and I shut that down over the phone because they wouldn't bring me down to court. They would only do a phone conference. So they had me in the court on phone and verbally shut the whole thing down. I appointed the judge as my fiduciary trustee, and then gave her instructions to eliminate dismiss the case and eliminate the record. And then basically told her, I claimed my body and collapsed the trust. And that was it. You know what I mean? And that's the document. If you look on my page, you'll see that it was posted with the highlights and everything on it, showing it's a real document from the courts. And the judge clearly stated that it was, quote, unjust and inappropriate. And I explained on the paper why the judge said that. So anyway, going into this is one way of discharging a debt. Now, in doing this, I want to show you something real quick. This is coming out of the CPA Excel exam, exam review study guide. This is regulations. So these are the rules. All right. So I don't want anybody thinking that we're coming off the hip with this. And I love to say that because there are people that think that way. So for those of you who can see this, I'm trying to get a good angle on it. I'll turn it back there. It's a lot better. So here, as you can see, in order for a negotiable instrument, and money orders are negotiable instruments. Anything that requires, I'm not going to say anything that requires a signature because it could be a contract, and it is a type of negotiable instrument. But anyway, essentially what you have is drafts, which is a form of a negotiable instrument. And contracts can be drafts. They can be made into negotiable instruments. So now basically these are some of the conditions of a requirements of for something to be negotiable. It must be written, must be signed by the maker or drawer, the one who created the contract or the money order or whatever. You got to sign it. It can also the promissory note also. Anything that you make, for a financial transaction, it should be signed by you. So the next one is contain an unconditional promise or order to pay. State a fixed amount in money. Be payable on demand or at a definite time. Be payable to order or to bearer unless it is a check. All right, checks can be done in two different ways. All right, so basically the next one is dealing with must be in writing. This is very important here. Okay, so this right here will clarify a few things for us. So basically what it says is it can be satisfied by printing, typing, handwriting. So you can write it out by handwriting or any other reduction to physical form that is relatively permanent and portable. All right. And again, check out number 2. The UCC has a very liberal definition of a writing under Article 3. It is easy to satisfy this requirement. Right? So the like for an example, when you want to do a money order, you want to create a money order, you can create your own money order. Why? Because the UCC has a very liberal definition of writing. All right. So now in that respect, also in Article 3, if you read it, handwriting, as mentioned earlier, right here, handwriting is incorporated into UCC 3, Article 3. All right, so you can you can physically with your own hand write out a money order. You can do it. So these companies, these corporations, they know this. All right, they're not unfamiliar with this. They are very familiar with this. They know the law. They know it better than we do. All right, they know that you can do it. But again, If you're ignorant of it, as Benjamin Franklin once said, those who are ignorant of their rights, or those who do not know their rights, don't have any. If you do not know your rights, if you do not know what you can and cannot do in law, and you don't have to know all of the law, you need to know what pertains to you specifically. You need to know what pertains to you specifically, all right, in the law. So now, here's what they threw at me, right? You see it's 4,000, all right? Now, again, just to let people know once again, am I a deadbeat dad? Absolutely not. There's nobody that can ever say that. And if they do, I got evidence to prove that I'm not. I got receipts. I got documents. I got pictures. I got it all, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been a deadbeat dad. So we'll be clear about that. I'm just showing people how these people will come at you because of the circumstances that sometimes the other parties, get themselves involved in, because they may not necessarily be aware of what they're signing. So a lot of times they're signing these documents to get whatever it is. I don't care what it is you're getting from these people. You know what I'm saying? Benefits or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. If you don't know how to sign these documents, you put other people's lives in, not danger, but in a very, put them in a very precarious situation, man. You know what I mean? And now, individuals such as myself, we have to go and push back now to make these people back up off of you and do what they're actually supposed to do, as opposed to doing what they want to do, which is what they're doing with the person who's helping them to create these documents. Because you're not learning, you're putting other people in harm's way or in a difficult situation. So anyway, individuals such as myself had to do things like this. Okay, so they sent me the presentment. This is at the bottom of the presentment. Bam, right? Put that together. So it tells you to cut it off and send this in with your payment. What they're not telling you is that in the law, the one who creates the liability, or one who brings forth a liability, they're bringing you a contract. And they're saying that you're going to be liable for this contract. We want you to fulfill this contract. You'll be liable for it once you sign. Okay. The law states that when they bring a liability, when they bring a contract with a liability, they must also provide the remedy or the way out of it. You know what I'm saying? And here it is. They're not telling you that this is what you use in order to get rid of them, as far as the payment is concerned. All right? But if you're not familiar with your federal account, or you don't think it exists, you don't think it's real, or maybe you think it's some kind of a conspiracy theory thing going on, you keep dreaming, okay? You go ahead and keep on dreaming, because these people don't mess with you. Here we go. Money order. You're going to write money order at the top, in line with what we just read, all right? It's a negotiable instrument. So what we're doing is we're converting this document into a negotiable instrument. All right, and I wish I had time to go into explaining the details of negotiable instruments. In brief, the reason for creating negotiable instruments is to increase the means of finances and avenues of exchange. All right, in other words, they're trying to increase the flow of money going around. So what they did was they came up with the concept of negotiable instruments, checks, money orders, promissory notes, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So, in doing this, they've created a couple of avenues that we can utilize. You can create your own money orders. As long as it has the correct form and the correct information, then you can create your own money orders, and it is valid in the law. It is absolutely valid. Okay? So now, on the top, you're going to write money order. So now you're letting them know this is what this is. It's not a check. It's a money order. All right? And a money order is backed by funds. A check may or may not be backed by funds, and that's why you do not put check up there, because the check doesn't guarantee the money's going to be there. The money order guarantees the money's there, and then when you put your account number here, which is your social security number, you're going to put your account number, and that account is what? That's the account that the Secretary of the Treasury is holding on behalf of all of us. And we've invited people also in the past to go and just Google old social security numbers, and you will see social security cards popping up. And on the top of the social security card, above the number, it will say account number. They took those things off because the people have decided that, hey, that must be some conspiracy theory stuff, so we're going to leave that alone. We're not going to deal with that. You know? Or, oh, don't mess with that. The government's coming for you. Ooh, spooky. Guess what? We've already addressed that issue. We've already accessed those accounts, and the government ain't came for us. In fact, the government contacted us and told us, nice job. Nice job. Okay, so for those of you who are in doubt about the situation, you know, I'm not here to convince you. Really not. Your exemption number is your QSIP number, all right? The exemption number is your QSIP number. The exemption number, I'm going to say it again. Your exemption number is your QSIP number. What is your QSIP number? Your QSIP number is your Social Security number without the dashes, all right? And what is your QSIP number? How does it operate? What is the purpose of it? It is the document that, actually this number represents the document, the birth certificate, the account, you know what I'm saying? All that's being traded on the stock market. And if you go on the video, I already sent it around to the people that's on this, that's in this group, and they're on the Legal Crest. I've already posted the videos that show where you can go and how to go and find your QSIP number, along with your symbol number and your I believe it's file number. All right. So if you go watch those videos, it will show you exactly how to find your account and see how much your birth certificate is being traded on the stock market. So you can stop thinking this is a conspiracy. Exemption number. This number right here, without the dashes, it is your exemption number, and it proves that you are exempt from any of these payments based upon House Joint Resolution 192. All right? We're exempted from having to pay any bill. We are exempted. This is not a get over on the government. This is something that the policy creators, the government, the lawmakers, this is something that they put in place not because they wanted to, because they had to. Otherwise, they would be committing treason against the American people because, again, like we say all the time, they're foreign entities working over here. They're over here to make money. All of these public servants, whether they know it or they don't know it, the agencies that they work for, the people that run the agencies, that own these agencies, they know. And the officers and the clerks and, you know, the secretaries, they don't have to know by law. That's called plausible deniability. In other words, they're not given the information, so that way they can just continue on doing their job. All right? They can continue on doing their job, and those people who know, the higher-ups who know, they can relax. These guys don't know, and the people that they're dealing with, they're ignorant of the law, or they think, you know, that everything's fine. Life is beautiful. So we'll just continue on working until, you know, our knuckles bleed, and we end up dying broke and leaving nothing for our children, nothing as inheritance, nothing. But it's, you know, again, if you're ignorant, then you deserve what you get. You deserve what you get, and that's their viewpoint. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm starting to get into it. The more I'm starting to learn this stuff, the more if a person wants to be ignorant, man, just stay ignorant. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna beat you into life. So, you take the amount that they say that you owe. That's why the box is empty. You put it in the box. Now, you must put on. Okay. Where's that? There we go. Trying to find the page for us. Here we go. Okay, this is for it to be negotiable. It must, right? It must say paid to the order of, all right, whoever it is, all right, and it will be negotiable. So you put paid to the order of, and whoever's saying that you owe them, you put their name right in there. If you got a human being's name, then you put the human being's name there. If you got a corporation or a company, they didn't give me any particular person's name. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the information that they've given me. These guys are saying that I owe them. I'm going to pay these guys. That's who I'm going to pay. All right? So it's paid to the order of the New York State Child Support Processing Center. How much do I owe them? So they say, because I'm a creditor, and creditors always pay. Debtors do not want to pay, and that's why debtors get done dirty in the courts. Pay these people. We have unlimited accounts. Pay them. So here's my account number. You want access to the account? Here it is. You want you want to know how I can do this to you, give you this, and make you pay out of this account? Because I'm exempted by this number, my QSIP number. Because they're already making money off of my birth certificate, so I'm exempt. So now, you sign off. Bam. Alright? Now, I want to show you guys something else. I showed you this before in another video. Alright? Remember that without recourse? You sign without recourse. So now, when you send this to them, what's the issue? The issue is the drawer accept drawers of a check, so you can't do it with a check. Again, that's why you don't put check on top, you put money order. Okay? And endorsers may avoid secondary liability by signing without recourse. So once you put this, and then you put 3-415, which is the law dealing with that, which is where they got this understanding from. They got it from the law. This is the law that they got it from. UCC 3-415. Do your research. Go back and check. Just go to Westlaw or just Google UCC 3-415 and it'll pop up right there for you. All right? You can see for yourself. Nobody's making anything up. 3-415. You're reserving your. You're signing without recourse. You're letting them know, I don't have a means to pay you people because you guys took the gold and silver from the people back in 1933. So when they did that, the government by law must replace anything that they take from the people with something of equal value, right? Equal effect, equal usage, or greater value, effect, or usage. So what did they give us? They gave us exemption. We are exempt from having to pay any bills because the government is using our birth certificates that they create, these artificial persons, to pay back a bill that they owe to the World Bank or the IMF or the Federal Reserve. It's all the same building, it's all the same agency, and it's all private. Federal is not a part of the United States. Please go look it up. You see that your boy's not making this up. If it says federal, it does not mean it's a part of the United States. In fact, it is not a part of the United States. It is an independent, privately owned agency. The Federal Reserve makes money for the world. They make money for the world because they are the World Bank. Alright? And that's why the United States, the government, is in debt. They owe the World Bank. That 7 trillion or 9 trillion or whatever the number is, that is owed to the World Bank. They have to pay them back because of the money that they're printing out to the government. And then the government, then the World Bank puts interest on that money. They put interest on that money. The government has to pay that money back. They can't pay that money back, so they owe a debt. Alright? So now what do they have to do? They have to put up collateral. And you guys that's street savvy or claim to be street savvy, you know, loan sharks, you go to a loan shark, when you want to get something, you know what I'm saying? You need to borrow some money. He's going to say what you got for collateral. You go to the bank. Y'all want to get this car, I want to get this house. Well, what do you got for collateral? Collateral. What is the collateral that this government put up? They put the people's labor up. What we will project, what is projected that we will make within our lifetime. And then they take the birth certificates and trade it on the stock market to make money off of that. And because they're doing that, that will be treason. So what they did was, they took the they created the House Joint Resolution 192 to absolve themselves of treason. So they gave us an exemption. So we're exempt from paying any bills. We don't have to pay no bills. We do not have to pay these bills, but you do have to learn the process for how to get rid of them lawfully. Don't just, I'm not paying, I'm exempt, I ain't gonna do it. Well, then you're going to jail. Because there is a process that you must learn. There is a process that we all must learn. And if you learn it, then you will be effective. If you do not learn it, then that's on you. Alright? And UCC 1-308 is reservation of rights. That law says, reserve your rights, and your rights have been reserved. If you do not reserve your rights, then your rights will be considered as waived, like you waived them. So, on the back, this right here was a test run. All right, so I'm gonna be changing some of the wording on here so that way we understand that this is it was a test run. The actual ones I already sent out. It says pay to the order of U.S. Treasury. You can't do that. You can't put pay to the order on the front of a negotiable instrument and then put pay to the order on the back. So do not do this. Don't put pay to the order of United States Treasury. You're going to put on the back redeem at United States Treasury or U.S. Treasury. All right? You're going to put redeem at U.S. Treasury. All right? Now, here's the kicker right here. This is a beautiful thing. Because this is a transaction, it must be reported to the IRS. Why? Because you're taking funds out of your federal account. So what you're doing is, you're going to tell them, please forward my copies of the required IRS forms regarding this transaction. And this is what shakes them up. When they see that part, you're giving them instructions. Oh, and by the way, I did this while I was in custody. So, otherwise, this information I probably would have put on an affidavit. You know what I'm saying? And up top, I brought this down, and I wrote endorse. And then I wrote a line under the word endorse from one side to the other side. And I left this area kind of empty so they can sign. All right? So now, if you're not in custody, so you don't have to write all of this on the back. You take all this stuff, and you send it, and you can put it on an affidavit, or you can just send a regular letter. You know what I'm saying? But it's always better if you do it by affidavit, because you're bringing in a witness, which is the notary. The notary becomes your witness. All right? That's a law. I'm sorry, an officer of the court as a witness. That's what a notary is. All right? They don't whatever. The notary is they're an officer of the court. So they're a witness to the fact that you are who you are. All right, so they're not necessarily a witness to the document itself, unless you do like a notary, notary protest or something to that effect. So anyway, if you want to send an affidavit along with this, you can send the affidavit along with this. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be best to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you put, please forward my copies of the requisite IRS forms regarding this transaction. All right. Now, here's a beautiful thing right here. This is really nice. I hereby appoint the agent in possession of this money order. You're letting them know what you're sending them, right? This money order as my fiduciary trustee in accordance with the Power of Appointment Act of 1951. And in that act, that law, it clearly states that the one who appoints someone as their fiduciary trustee, the person who was appointed as a fiduciary trustee, they can't say, no, I'm not taking that. They don't have a choice. The choice is no longer theirs. They've been appointed to do something on your behalf. We're talking about public servants now. We're talking about public servants. They do not have the capacity or the authority to say no. Why? Because their job, by the nature of their very job, they're foreign agents. They're only over here to facilitate a easy, peaceful existence for us. But because we're not studying the law and we're not learning this stuff, these people they're running roughshod on us, man. They're losing their minds with the stuff that they're doing. They're blowing our heads off in the middle of the streets. They're locking us up all kind of ways. They're sending us all kind of bills and putting us into severe debt. But because none of us, we're just absolutely refusing. We're refusing to learn anything about what's going on. We don't want to learn economics. We don't want to learn the law. My life is good, but you're miserable every day with your bills. No. Stop doing that. Seriously, this is my advice to the people. Stop doing that. Because I'm going to tell you, somebody else would have to pay $4,741.50. Me, all I got to do is put a little bit of ink on paper and the matter is resolved. Now, if you want to pay all that money, if you think you got it like that and you don't mind spending that kind of money, then listen, turn the video off, man. Get off my page, man, and go on about your life, man. If you don't mind paying that money, you go ahead and do that, man. Enjoy. Live a beautiful life with that. However, I'm not paying that kind of money, man. I got other responsibilities, man. My babies need new shoes. My babies need new shoes. So I'd much rather spend $4,000 on my baby's clothes and shoes, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to paying these people who ain't gonna do nothing but take that money and put it in their pocket. You can't have my money, I'm sorry. Especially when I already know I'm exempted. I don't have to pay you. I'm not paying you. You can pay yourself. And this is what you're gonna do this is what I'm gonna do to make you pay. I appoint you as my fiduciary trustee. Because a lot of times what happens when these documents is, they'll send you the documents, but they don't give anybody's name on the documents. They don't put their name. They'll just put the head of department of, take your money. The take your money department. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a name because whenever you put your name on a document, the one whose name is on there is liable. So they don't put their names on these documents. All right? They don't put their names on the documents because they know the law. We don't. Seriously, I'm gonna show you. I'll prove it to you. Look on this document here. Dana's name is there. They do the name that they saying is me. That's an all capital name. That's not me though. You know what I'm saying? So I got a phone call coming in, but I'll call them back. So they got everybody's name on here except for theirs. Because in law, if your name is on that document, you're liable. So they know, right? Because what did it say? The drawer maker. Who's the drawer maker? The one who creates the document. So whoever created this document, they are liable. And they're not putting without recourse. They're just sending you a document. Now, if you respond to this document and they ain't even give you a name, you know what I'm saying? They didn't give you a name. So they're not liable if you respond. You know what I'm saying? If you respond, oh, you no debt. If you say you don't owe no debt, then what you are is you're creating a controversy. So now they can drag you into court because the courts are for resolving controversy. So if there's no controversy, then the matter cannot be brought into court. And if it is brought into court anyway, then that means they're committing a deception, a fraud. So when you go into court and you say, hey, where's the controversy? Who has the controversy? In other words, whose name is going to go on these papers? Whose name? What individual? Because as soon as an individual's name is on any one of these papers, they now can have charges filed against them. You can now put a suit against them. But look, they're not putting anybody's name on these documents. There's a reason for that. They want you to jump out there and think that this all capital name is you, and then once you jump out there, the name can't do anything. But if you jump out there, then now they got a body to correct the flaw in the name. So now the name is just going to sit on the paper. But once you jump out there and you start responding, then okay, well now we got somebody to take the responsibility for the payment of this corporation here. We was trying to sue the name, but this guy, this flesh and blood, living man or woman jumped out there, so we'll make them pay. Perfect. That's what we needed anyway, because the name wasn't going to pay us anyway. So thanks for being as ignorant of the law as you are. Thank you. We appreciate it. And so they go on about their business. All right? They take your money, and if you play games with this, especially with child support, they'll try to take your license, they'll try to throw you in jail, and a few other things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not giving these people anything. So here, you sign your name, all right? Or actually, you don't have to sign your name on the back, because this is an additional endorsement. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to sign it because you're paying them. So you're gonna put endorsement up the top. Like I said, this was a trial run here. So you write the word endorsement. You sign the line underneath it. This information you would put on an affidavit. Like I said, I was in custody at this time, so they wouldn't give me access to the computer so I could write out my affidavits and stuff like that. They wouldn't let me do that. In fact, I had a situation in there. I had sent a letter to the child support telling them, listen, present to me all contracts that obligate me to pay any bills, or that I'm obligated to pay any bills to you people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because child support is not a part of the government. The child support, I know this is blowing people's mind. Wow, this guy is crazy. All right. Let's see if I can find this for you in this book. But here it is right here. Beautiful. It's called a trade acceptance, right? And see my footnote on the side? 3-step process to the way a collection agency buys your debt. All right? So you go into court, child support court or whatever, they run the game on you, you know what I'm saying? And you go for it, and you fall for it, and you end up signing the papers. What does the courts do? They sell the debt. They sell it. Why? Because they want immediate cash. So this collection agency comes along and says, you know what? We're going to name ourselves the Child Support Processing Center. That's what we're going to do. We're going to name ourselves the Child Support Processing Center. And then we're going to go at this person and say, hey, you owe child support. You owe it. You owe it to us. Here's the problem. I have no contract with you. My contract was with that court. The court sold the debt. Once the court sold the debt, I no longer have an obligation to the court. And I no longer have an obligation to anybody else. So now you send them a letter. Hey, I want you to prove that I owe you that debt. Where's the contract? Where's the contract that I have with your company, your agency? Show me those contracts. Show it to me. In fact, let's see if I can find it. Hopefully I can find it. It's under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Right? Under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, when a collection agency contacts you and you request certain forms and documents from them, they must produce those forms and documents. They must produce them. And if they do not produce them, written contract. Let me see if I can find the signs. Misrepresentation. Corporation. I don't remember exactly where I put it. But anyway, the most important thing is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act clearly states that whenever a agency contacts an individual and claims that the individual owes them, then the obligation upon that agency is to produce the documents that they're saying that you owe. I'm saying that whatever they're saying that you owe them, they have to produce the evidence upon your request. And if they do not produce the evidence, then they must cease and desist immediately from trying to collect. They must cease and desist immediately from trying to collect. And that's why our debt letters have been working. That's why they work, because it's the law. And if these people violate that, then all you got to do is file a complaint with the Federal Trades Commission, FTC, the Federal Trades Commission, and tell them, hey, these guys over here, these foreign agents who's pretending to be people that, that's a part of the United States government, yeah, these guys over here, they're trying to extort me. They're extorting me. What's extortion? To take money from someone, whether willing or unwillingly. If they're paying the money, but they really don't want to pay it, that's still extortion. It's still extortion if you're paying the money and you don't want to pay it. Now, when we're sending the debt letters, it's a conditional acceptance. And a conditional acceptance in law, because honor is everything in law, is a way to say no to a person and still remain in honor. Because every time you say no, anytime you say no in law, you're creating a dishonor, you're creating a controversy. And whenever you create a controversy, now you got to go to court. Now you got to go to court. All right, this is another thing. All right, when they bring you to court, they're actually, when you're being brought to court, they're liquidating your assets. You're being sued. Every time we go to court, we're being sued. A summons to court means that you're being called to court because you're being sued. So you get a summons to go to court for a robbery, burglary, theft, grand theft auto, whatever it is, assault, right? You're being sued. You're being sued. That's a fact. All right, 27 CFR 72.11. You're being sued. And when they sue you in that court, essentially what they're doing is they're liquidating when they throw you into custody, they're liquidating your assets. They're liquidating your assets. All right? As opposed to doing what's called a reorganization. Reorganization is allowing you to stay at liberty. That's more like parole or probation or something like that. Not really probation, because probation you usually don't actually go into custody when you get to probation. Most times, you just come off the streets, you go through the court case, and they give you probation, and then you go on your way. You know what I'm saying? So what they do is it's a type of a reorganization. It's reorganization, which is when the creditor, because the prosecutor's claiming to be the creditor, when actually the monies that to pay for the court cases is our money from our federal accounts. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing with the bid bonds, the performance bonds, and the payment bonds. Anyway, I'm going a little off topic. But anyway, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act says that whenever you challenge the debt, they must produce the evidence showing that you actually do owe them. And sometimes what they'll try to do is what child support tried to do to me. I told them to send me the original contracts. Send me the original contracts bearing my wet blue ink signature and my seal. My seal, your seal is your right thumbprint. All right? So you sign your name, you put your right thumbprint. All right? That's your seal. So I want all of that. If you want me to pay this bill, I want all of that. I want you to produce that to me. Check this out. Check out what they did. They think they slick. They sent me the documents, right? They sent me a whole bunch of copies of papers. Not even the judge's signature was on the papers. Not even the judge's signature. Which means what? There was no contract. There was no contract. In other words, they're just a collection agency. They revealed their hand and they're caught. Matter of fact, I'm going to step it on. You know me, I like to bring little special gifts to the people. Hold on, let me show you something. Alright, check me out. Cool. Alright, so this is what they sent me, right? As you can see, this is where I was. I sent them the debt letter. I said, listen, man, give me give me the contract. Show me the contracts, man. Matter of fact, this is the one that I sent after the first affidavit. All right, this is the affidavit of fault and opportunity to cure. This is the second letter you usually send them when they don't give you what you're asking for. You let them know, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to do you dirty. So anyway, here, I sent them the first letter and I told them, I want my, give me the original contracts with my signature and everything, proving that I actually am in a contract with your agency. Check out the double dealing. This is how they work, right? Boom. Who they tell me to contact? Department of Social Services, Child Support Enforcement Bureau, right? County of Suffolk. That's their letterhead, right? Boom. Now, right, we're going to go through this, blah, 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 right? Okay, per your request encloses a copy of your court order for the above case. Additionally, let me turn this thing sideways so we can get the full data. I don't slide back and forth. Support summary and payment history is enclosed. To obtain an original copy of your court order, please contact Family Court, the place where I went to get the thing going, at the above telephone number. What are they saying right here? What they're saying right here is, we don't have the originals, so we're not the holder in due course according to law, which means what? You don't have the right to get any money from me because I have no contract with you. You don't have the original contract, then you are not the holder in due course. So I don't owe you nothing. That's why they said, get the originals from the family court. And they give you the information up top to make it look like they're all connected. No, they're not connected. Get the original copies from family court. Not, here's your original copies, my man. No, they don't do that. And this is what they do. Look, right? This is how they trick you, right? They're hoping that you're not paying attention. You're not reading right? Look, this is the bull crap here. Bam. You send me this, right? All this is bull crap. It's nothing. It's worth nothing. It's worth nothing, right? These are all just paper. It's just paper. Copies of stuff, right? Check it out. I'm gonna show you some good money. Ain't something missing there? Ain't that supposed to be the judge? Where's the signature? Oh, you ain't even got a signature? This document's not a valid contract. There's no such thing as a valid contract without a signature. They need a signature. You see my signature anywhere? My signature ain't there either. No judge signature, no my signature. This is worthless. You can't use this in court. Oh, and the other thing I asked for was that all the documents be certified. There's no certification. There's no raised seal, no raised bubble letters on this. None of that. None of it's certified. So they can't even use this in court. So what does that mean? That means they can't even go to court with this stuff. But I'm giving them affidavits, and they're not rebutting them. And I put a stipulation in the affidavits that you rebut them. They're not rebutting them. Oh, look again. No signature. No judge's signature. Once again, got them. They don't have anything. They have nothing. Look, no judge's signature. Anybody can go in the computer and make this stuff. Anybody can go in the computer. Oh yeah, by the way, look, just so you people know, all right? total paid, all right? Your boy pays his bills. This is what I didn't even know about this stuff that I know now. So it's not that, I was never paying my bill and I'm a deadbeat dad. No, that's how much I was paying. I paid this, all right? So anybody want to say something, slick in the backgrounds or whatever, these are all the payments that I was making, all right? These are all the payments, because even then, right back then, I didn't know nothing about the back in, what was this? This was 2016. No, this is 2011, something like that, 2010, something like that. Anyway, I don't remember. It was years ago though. I didn't know any of this stuff at all, but I did know. I was going up in that courtroom and I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of these people trying to come at me on some nonsense. I'm not gonna be paying you guys $200, $300, $400 a month. You know what I'm saying? And I have a family, and this girl at the time, she still is. She's on social services. She ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? She ain't doing nothing with herself. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, she would not allow me to go see my son at all. You know what I'm saying? Or who she said was my son. And it's another thing. We would go to court. She would never show up on a day when we was doing the DNA. I even offered to give her a ride, and she's like, I'm not going. So they never got the DNA. So what did they do? They resolved to do some dirt. And the dirt was, hey, did he ever call you dad? I'm like, yeah, because his mother told him to call him dad. He was like, did you ever call him your son? I said, well, yeah, because his mother said that was my son. But I found, after her not wanting to do the DNA test and all that, I was like, yo, I got to question that. And besides, that particular night, it wasn't just me, it was a couple of other people. And for you Muslims, this is before the Islam was, in full effect, all right? Just letting y'all know. Don't do me dirty. Anyway, I work with the marriage situation now. We don't play games with that. So anyway, yeah, these are all my payments. So I told them in the court, I was like, listen, y'all not gonna be raping my bank account or my paychecks, man. We're not having that. So y'all gonna have to work out something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna be paying you all that money. You know what I'm saying? Or what I'll do is I'll quit exactly what I said. I'll quit my job right now, and I'll get on social services, and you just be paying me. And you know what they said? They said, hold on, Mr. Booker, hold on. We're going to work something out. And they came back out. They was like, okay, what can you easily afford to pay? I said, I could pay $45 a week. Because at the time I was working at this job, I was making about $19 an hour. I could pay $45 a week. That's not going to hurt me. I can still, I can still function. So he was like, perfect. We'll go with that. Because all they want is somebody to pay the bill. That's all they want. They want somebody to pay the bill because they already took the money from the government. They took the federal funding that the government provides for all of us. That's why they do a census. That's why they run around and they count everybody in the area. They're not counting you just so they know how many people's in the area. They're counting so that they can report it to the government and say, we need funds to take care of these American people. Remember, they're public servants. They're supposed to be taking care of the affairs of the people. So they do the census. And we got to put this thing in perspective. Understand what's going on. Please, people, understand what's going on. They are here to facilitate our existence, to make it easier for us so we're not struggling. Because why? We just saved the government by allowing them to use our names, birth certificates, social security accounts to pay back the debt to the World Bank. This is the government's repayment. But if you don't know, then they're going to put their boots on your neck. Just like you walk into a bad neighborhood and you don't know what's going on out there, everybody out there is licking their chops. Fresh meat. Delicious. This guy don't know what's going on. This girl doesn't know what's going on. I'm going to take full advantage of them. And that's what's going on. People don't know, they're taking full advantage of you. So anyway, all these payments was during the time where I didn't know. Look, 2014, 2015 is the dates on the side. I didn't really pay attention to that. So yeah. 2017, right? 2017 was the last payment. That's when I started really understanding. That's when I gave him that $1 money order with the condition that it set off and settled this entire case, right? And they still try to play games with that afterwards. I'll show you about that too. All right, real quick. Signature rubber stamp. Real quick, I'll show you what that's about. Instrument may have a provision, right? Provision is, a statement, condition. A provision that by endorsing or cashing it, that's a condition, the payee, the one who's getting paid, acknowledges full satisfaction of debt and remain negotiable. It still remains negotiable. All right? Because with a promissory note, a promise to pay later on, A promissory note, you cannot put a condition on it. A promissory note, you must state what you're gonna pay, and it must be in unequivocal terms. You cannot have any conditions. Oh, I'll pay you if you mow my lawn. I'll pay you if you meet me at the mall. No, you can't put it in the promissory note. You have to strictly say, I'm going to pay on this date. Excuse me. That's for promissory notes. With money orders, you can actually put a stipulation on it. All right? If you cash this, then you're acknowledging full satisfaction of the debt. All right? And it still remains negotiable. All right? So that's what I did with that $1 money order. I sent it in to them and told them, listen, this is for the complete satisfaction of the debt. And once they cash it, then they have agreed. All right? They have agreed. So I'm just going to go through the rest of all my payments. All right? All my payments. You're going to see some big ones in a minute, because that's when they went and they garnished my payments from my tax return. 632, 3,000. Yeah, they took that much from me. You know what I mean? And I ain't the lay down type. 944, 914. It's banging me. You know what I mean? And this is what happens. This, and I ain't gonna front. I deserve it because I should have been learning. I should have been learning about this stuff back then. I heard things about it, but I didn't study. Game's over. Playtime's over. I'm on your body. So now, this is what they were taking from me. They were getting $495. Getting me $72.50. Right, this is when this is right after the court case, because they was making me pay up additional $5 or something like that, $10, whatever it was, in the arrears. So until I paid up, and then they started going into the $45 joints. You know what I'm saying? But they was banging me. They was banging me. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? They was banging me. And total is how much your boy paid? $15,013.50. All right. So. Ain't no BS with this, but these are the documents that they sent me, right? Because I told them I wanted a full, I wanted a complete record of all books. A complete record of all ledgers and books of accounting, which is what this is supposed to be. But this is not a complete ledger. I wanted their tax information and everything. They're not going to give me that. Why? Because they cannot. And when they show you the ledgers and all that stuff that they have to submit to the government, to the IRS and all that, it will clearly show that they never paid me anything. And the only time somebody can say that you owe them is if you supposed to pay them based off of some services or some funds that they gave you. This agency, child support agency, has provided us with nothing. All they did was bought the debt from the court. That's what they did. They bought the debt from the court. And guess what? We didn't even owe a debt to the court. So it was a game from the beginning. It was a trick from the beginning. We owed none of them. So anyway, right? Because again, we have exemption. So as soon as somebody says you owe a bill, you just refer to your. Oh wait, that's a different case. She screamed on me about this. This is the one I got satisfied over the phone when I was in custody. This is a different one, but they rectified this one over the phone. This one I appointed the judge as my fiduciary trustee and shut that whole thing down. So they sent me those documents, these documents here. Oh, God. They sent me these documents here, and I hit them back. I'm trying to let them know, hey, wait a second. You guys didn't send me what I asked for. You sent me a bunch of bull. That's not what I asked you for. I wanted the originals, and my signature's on none of that stuff. So I hit them with this. If you want, you can freeze the screen so you can see how it's done. As you can see, care of Post Office Box 975. That's green. That's the facility I was in at the time. So I used the Post Office Box. Care of. Not that I live there. All right? And I am the executor and paramount title holder. All right? In a second, I'm going to pull out the debt letter. I'm just showing you the stuff here. The first debt letter that I sent to them. Oh, here it is right here. I'm sorry. Boom. Here it is. All right? So now, people, what I would suggest you do is, freeze frame this and type it out for yourself. Take my information out. Put your information in. Can you put UCC 1-308/3-415? You better. 1-308 is reserving your rights. 3-415 is without recourse. So, and you're saying yes. Are you the executor? If you're a man, yes. If you're a woman, you are the executrix. executrix. It's a female executor. For a male, you're the executor. Female, you're executrix. And are you the paramount title holder? Well, do you know anybody that has a greater control over your birth certificate than you? Has a greater right? No, it's yours. So you are the paramount title holder. To what? The all capital name and the estate. Anything that this name is connected with is a part of its estate. And what is an estate? An estate is property, right? Property that is used to pay creditors. So anybody that says you owe, you're going to take out of your estate to pay them. That's what an estate is. It's property that is used to pay creditors. So if you owe any debt, you take the payment out of your estate and you pay the creditor. All right, and you put your address and care of. This is an affidavit of truth and demand for verification of debt. Notice to agent. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. What that statement means is, if the higher-ups is notified about this, then they are obligated to tell the guys that's lower than them. If the lower guys get this information, then they're obligated to tell the higher-ups about this situation. So everybody is liable. Everybody is responsible. To whom this may concern, I, my name, executor, paramount title holder, just clarifying who I am and my status, am in receipt of a letter from your office with a New York State case identifier number, blah, 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 alleging a fraudulent debt, right? So I'm letting you know I'm in doubt. I don't know. So here's the date. I have never been presented with any sworn affidavit nor any commercial affidavit, which is required by law. If they don't give you any affidavits, then they don't have any documents to go into court with. What they're banking on is that you do not risk, when they send you that paperwork, when they send you this junk, they send you this crap right here, and they tell you, oh, you owe a bill, you owe a debt. They're hoping that you go into dishonor and not respond like some maniacs is telling people to do. Don't respond, just don't respond, it'll go away. No, it won't. It won't go away. They're going to come back. Why? Because the law says if you do not respond back, then it is as if you are going into dishonor. You're dishonoring it. So what does that mean? It's a controversy. It means what? You go to court. They're coming to get you. Don't listen to these maniacs, man. They know what they're talking about. Listen to what I'm telling you. Follow me. So, I said, I have never been presented with any sworn affidavit nor any commercial affidavit which will provide any validity to your claims and or assessment. Assessment is you're saying how much I owe you. It is therefore my best and considered judgment that no such documentation and or affidavits exist. So I'm telling you, hey, listen, you're saying I owe you a debt. I don't think one exists because I wasn't presented with anything letting me know that I do. Here's what they're doing. This is called a negative averment. All right, a negative averment, which is they're just going to assume that you already know that you owe. They're going to assume that you already knew that you're supposed to do something. It's called negative averment, all right? And this is how they get us, all right? And if you don't respond, then it says, oh, by you not responding, non-response, it means that's non-response is acquiescence. You've agreed. You have to respond back to these people. You have to, even if you write them back a letter saying blah, blah, this is what I'm telling you, blah, 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 B-L-A-H, 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 I don't owe you nothing, prove it. That's it. You have to write them something back and let them know, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Give me some evidence, some proof that I actually owe you anything, please. And see what they did? They immediately responded back with this nonsense, trying to trick me. I didn't go for it. I hit him with another affidavit. We'll show you in a minute. So now I said, if what you claim is based upon any substantial and or verifiable facts, no verifiable facts, I demand said facts be produced and presented to me for my inspection. All right, I'm gonna stop this video for now. I'm gonna show you real quick. You can freeze the frame or whatever. I got my people's coming to get me right now. About to help him out with his situation. All right, so freeze that, and it's only 2 pages. It's only 2 pages. This is it right here. Freeze it up if you want, so you can copy it down and put your information in. All right, and you can put your
This same information is in the book Chain to the Sky. So refer to the book Chain to the Sky in the affidavit section, and you'll find these same affidavits.
Notary. You're going to sign in front of the notary. You're going to put your right thumbprint on your name. Just how you see mine, that's how you do yours. You're not a secured party creditor, so do not put secured party creditor and don't put that number. You're not a secured party creditor. But you are an American national, so you can do that. Now, when I was in the facility, they... Okay. I think that's it. So I had a blue ink signature, a blue ink pen, so I wrote it in blue ink and I signed and I did my thumbprint. Put your thumbprint. All right, so with that, I'm going to stop for now and we'll finish this at a later time.